Good day, everyone. How y'all doing? I hope you are all doing absolutely fantastic, feeling groovy, realizing, of course, that the government really doesn't love you, and also realizing that pretty much everything you've been told since the day you were born is a lie. It is August the 20th of 2025, 12:45 p.m. Mr. Buzz coming to you from the communist shithole known as Ontario, Canada. If you get anything out of this video, all I ask is a thumbs up. And if you'd like to share your thoughts, please leave me those in the comments and I'll do my best to respond. I will let you know that YouTube has eliminated notifications for me, so I have to literally paw through the comments and find them all, and it's getting unbelievably difficult as the channel grows, but I'm doing my best. If you left me a comment and I didn't respond, I promise I'm going to try to get at all of them eventually, but it's very difficult without the notifications, so just to let you know that. So let's talk about being a real Christian. Okay. In Matthew 5:44, Jesus says, "But truly I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." In Luke 6:27 to 36, "But truly I say to you who have ears to hear, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, and pray for those who spitefully use you." And there's lots more passages in the Bible that address this same idea. Okay, this is where Christianity is truly the religion of peace and love. Islam is teaching its followers to kill, behead, all these things, the infidels, okay? So anyone who says Islam is a religion of peace and love is incorrect, and it's very easily provable that that's true. Christianity is the religion of peace and love. And this channel is becoming more popular because there's a whole bunch of people out there who are being gang stalked and terrorized and tortured and harassed and targeted in various ways. Their lives are rough because of these evil agents of the devil doing everything to make their lives miserable, to drive them nuts, to drive them to offing themselves, the whole bit. But Jesus was very clear on this one. Human instinct is to answer that with more vengeance, with anger, with, well, you're stooping to the same level as them if you do that. But that is our natural instinct, okay? Humans are very flawed creatures. We're vengeful by nature. We like to answer violence with violence or answer evil with evil sometimes. But if you want to be a real true Christian, this is not how it's done, okay? Those two verses I just read, very clear. The way to go is to love your enemies and forgive them. And now I know that's very difficult to do. When you got somebody wrecking your whole family's life, your family's lives, I should say, because you're a follower of the Lord and you're trying to be a good person and you're being targeted just for that, that can make one pretty angry. You know, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just trying to live your life. You have every right to have your beliefs, and yet you're getting totally stomped on by the dark kingdom. It's easy to get angry. It's easy to feel vengeful. It's easy to want revenge and to want to answer it with the same sort of thing they're doing to you. Eye for an eye sort of thing, right? But that's not Jesus' message. Somebody left me a comment the other day saying how hard it is to forgive these evil people who are harassing him and doing all this damage to his life and the lives of his family members. But when he is able to truly feel that forgiveness that Jesus preached about, the peace that it brings him, okay, this is This is not just for the sake of your enemy. This is for your sake. This is for your own soul. If you can find it within you to forgive, to understand that we're all flawed, and these evil ones, okay, they're born of the devil. Their father is the devil. They have his genetics. They have his essence all through them. They probably can't even really help it. They're born into evil. Okay, John, I think I can't remember the verse, but I read it in another video a couple days ago. You are of your father, the devil, and he's a liar, and all that, that verse. We have to realize these people doing this are under the influence of demonic forces that are very strong and have taken them over. Now, some of them might even be God's children who have become traitors, like I said in that video. That's possible. That means they made a grave mistake. And now that they've made it, they're stuck where they are, and they'll probably never get free of it. They're owned by the dark kingdom. But they were just a flawed human that made a mistake. Okay, and it's not up to us to judge all this stuff anyway. We are to forgive, to pray for them, to hope that they see the light, to hope that they can turn away from their darkness and turn towards Jesus, towards the light. And if you manage to do this successfully, it will bring you great peace. It's also how you defeat them. It seems that the Lord made this system so that righteousness, forgiveness, love, peace, all that stuff just squashes evil. It just obliterates it, smashes it into pieces. And the more you can look in the face of your enemy and feel forgiveness and peace and love towards them, you're doing yourself a great service if you can pull that off. It's hard. Actually, I remember watching a documentary about when the Chinese invaded Tibet. They were literally grabbing Tibetan monks, dragging them out in the street and beating them to a pulp. Like really beating them bad to within inches of their lives. Some of the monks who survived this, they interviewed them in this documentary. And they're like, what was that like, being attacked by these Chinese soldiers? Like, and they all said the same thing. I mean, I got to hand it to the Buddhists in this way. They said the hardest part was to forgive them and still love them as they were beating us. I'm like, whoa. Somebody's clubbing you over the head with something and pretty much beating you half to death. The only thing that mattered to them was that they weren't going to let their hearts turn dark. Because that was just a total no-no. That would have made their whole spiritual practice for their whole life rendered useless. So the Buddhists get this. I will say they do. Now, I'm not promoting Buddhism, but I mean, that's one aspect of it that you can't argue with. Peace, love, forgive your enemies. They agree with Christianity on that. And it's the right way to go. There's no way it's not. Now, how do you forgive somebody that's beating on you? How do you forgive somebody that's breaking into your home and terrorizing your family? And you just turn to the Lord and you ask for the strength to do so. And He's going to understand that it's not the easiest thing in the world because you are a human and you've got that vengeful nature in you. But the main point of Christianity is to try to be more like Jesus. And He obviously came down here. I mean, they nail Him to a cross. And what does He do? Say, Lord, forgive them. They know not what they do. Wow. I mean, that's the same thing as like the Buddhist monks getting beaten up and loving them and forgiving them while they're being beat up. It's the same concept. So, my plea to all Christians out there, please remember, this is the main point of it. This is what the Lord wants me to tell every one of you who watches me. We can sit here and we can talk about the tactics and maybe some strategy against it and things like that. That's fine. But in the end, we don't want to sit here and after we discuss things like the gang stalking, end up with hatred or darkness in our hearts. So no matter what, don't let that happen. Okay, that's the most important thing. Do not let darkness enter your heart. Your heart is to be filled with forgiveness, peace, and love, and pray for those who persecute you. Or as it said in Luke, who use you in a spiteful way. They'll do anything. They have these are people with no conscience, no moral compass, nothing to stop them from doing really unspeakable things. There's nothing to stop them. But if you're a real Christian, you got a light inside you that God put there. And even though you have a vengeful nature at your core, the Lord will soften your heart and let you feel this forgiveness and peace and love. And you pray for those enemies of yours. Because if you're one of God's, you got all kinds of enemies. Jesus said, if they hate you, remember they hated me first. We know how much they hated him. Look what they did to him. They hate you the same way because you follow him. But don't let that darken your heart. That's the whole message in this video. I hope that's easily comprehended the way I brought that across. A lot of people are probably thinking, what, I'm going to love and forgive this person who just did this and did this? You got to be kidding me. But if you're really serious about following Jesus, yep, that's what I'm saying. Thanks for watching. If you got anything out of that, please give me a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, forgive, love, pray for them, and remember that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life.